Today we're going to be making roasted potatoes. You're going to need potatoes, some garlic, a red onion, half a red onion, adobo, oregano, complete seasoning, onion powder, pepper, garlic powder, basil, parsley flakes, paprika, grill seasoning, and olive oil. And a baking dish. First thing you're going to do is peel enough potatoes to fill up the baking dish. I usually cut up my potatoes like this and make them in slices about a half an inch thick. If you make them too thick, they'll take a long time to cook. And we have preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And while you're cutting your potatoes, look, because sometimes you won't see any black spots on the outside, but when you cut it, you'll see dark spots on the inside. Make sure you cut all the dark spots out, like this one. And if it runs too deep, you don't want to waste any of your potato, so you cut it out after you cut them into smaller pieces.
Bobby?
Like that.
We got to the store, Bobby.
Yes, Dominic.
We still for the store.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter what shape they're in, as long as they're all about the same thickness. Now I have all my potatoes cut up. Let's see real quick. Make sure you didn't miss any spots. So you're going to take, you can use as much onion as you like. I had a half an onion that I don't want to waste, so I'm going to use my half an onion. I could use some more onion, but I'm just going to stick with the half an onion. And some garlic. You can use the jar stuff if you like, but fresh is always best. when it comes to flavor.
Bob,
Yes?
where's the gray push?
I don't know.
I can't find it everywhere.
Well, you have to look in your room.
But I can't find it. But I'm hoping that Kitty did.
Careful when you're cutting. Don't cut your fingers if you're doing it this way. You can use a garlic press. You can put it in a pilon and smash it up. Or you can just chop it the way I'm chopping it. However you want to chop it, as long as it gets chopped, it doesn't matter. You're going to drizzle about a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Oh, I forgot to mention, I like to use a little bit of butter in it too. Some adobo or seasoning salt. Let me get my seasoning salt. This is the seasoning salt I use. You can use Larry's seasoning salt, whatever you like. Oregano. Complete. And since I'm using Complete, I'm not going to use Sazon because Complete has MSG and Sazon has MSG. So if you use them both, you're doubling your MSG intake. I don't think you want to do that. It's bad enough we're using MSG at all. We don't need to double it up. So I usually use Sazon if I want to add color to stuff. If I'm not worried about color, I use this one. Onion powder. I'm only using this because I didn't use that much onion. I didn't cut up that much onion. And you don't really need garlic powder because you used to cut up garlic, but I like to add it anyway. Pepper. Parsley. Sorry, I don't measure or eyeball everything. Basil. Grill seasoning. And for color on this, I'm using paprika. And then you just get your hands in there and get it all mixed up evenly. Oops, my counters are clean. Make sure every potato has seasoning on it. Smells good already. Smell that. Get some other seasonings. gonna make sure it has enough salt, and it does. So we're gonna cover it with aluminum foil. That'll help it cook faster and more evenly. If you put it in without the aluminum foil, it's gonna take forever for your potatoes to get soft. Oh, I forgot. Put a couple dots of butter on it. Bake this for between 45 minutes to an hour. The potatoes have been in the oven almost an hour. So, to start. Be careful when you take the aluminum off because the steam is going to come out and you can burn yourself. So I just loosen it and then I pull it from the back. If you pull it up this way, all that steam is going to come and hit your arm and burn you. I just move them around a little bit. And they are nice and soft. So now we just want to get them brown. So to brown them, I just put the oven on broil and pop them back in for a few minutes until they're nice and crispy brown on the top. And here he comes again. And I put them in this way because that's the way my broiler, the heat source is. And I want it to heat the whole thing, not just across the middle. So I put it right under the heat source to the broiler. Potatoes, they got a little crispy on top. I don't want them black or burnt, so I'm going to take them out now. You can, if you want, you can leave the skin on your potatoes. You can do it with red potatoes. If you leave the skin on, make sure you scrub your potatoes really good before you start cooking them. And you can even, sometimes I'll crumble up bacon if I want to be really bad. I'll crumble up bacon or shred some cheese and put in there before I put it in the oven for the last 5-10 minutes and let all that melt through, and it's delicious.